Dave, I think you mentioned something on the broadcast that Jackson, if he could get through the first couple innings, you knew he'd be good through 6 or so. What is it about him that helps him get better as the game goes on like that?
I don't know. He's just he's been showing us that the last 3 or 4 weeks out. And, he may scuff around a little bit, give up a hit or a walk or two. First couple innings or so, but it seems like he just gets stronger and stronger, and he holds his velocity too. Even though he was tired there in the 8th, he was still throwing hard. His mechanics got off just a little bit, but it's amazing how he holds his stuff. If he's throwing 95 in the first, 97 in the first, he's doing it to get into 6, 7, and 8. But really, to answer your question, I don't know. It's just kind of what he does.
And also, the way he's pitched with runners on base the last couple of weekends, did that maybe give you a little bit of a longer leash for him there in the 8th, where you left him in a little bit longer?
Yes. He's earned our trust, obviously, because he's shown that he can get people out with runners on. And Coach Hobbs and I talked about it just a little while ago that, you called it a leash, but it's we just give him more time because he's proven that he can get him out. We'd rather leave him in the game. So, especially knowing that a lot of times his 6th, 7th inning is better than his 3rd and 4th.
Hey, Dave, what'd you think of that crazy 7th inning? You didn't get the ball out of the infield for a while. What did you make of all that?
What did we have? We had a walk.
The stove ball.
They throw a ball over the second base and didn't get a grip and chopped one up the line. A lot of little things were happening, but we went a nice bunt. It was going to be a sack bunt. I don't know how they scored it. Next thing you know, we got the bases loaded, no outs. We haven't left the infield yet. And I think we get somewhere in there was a chopper or two. I don't know. They gave us some extra outs and we took advantage of it. It's kind of what we did for them last night. And it wasn't the prettiest of series, that's for sure. I've seen a lot prettier. But I'll take 2 out of 3 anytime on the road up here. I think we're just disappointed that we didn't play very well, last night. Kind of let it slip. But the guys fought back today, had a good attitude, and the weather was miserable. Windy as can be. I don't know what the wind chill was, but it felt every bit as cold as that night game on Friday.
Yeah, and then I was going to ask you, so there was a balk in that inning, and then Webb hit the 2-run double that kind of broke it open. But legit balk. And what did you think of Webb? Yeah,
it was. He smoked it down the line. It was just fair, and we had the bases loaded and no outs. And I think at the time we had a 2-run lead, maybe, or a 1-run lead. I don't know. And we strike out 2 times in a row. We don't score a run. So, Webb obviously got the hit of the game. He picked up the team. He picked up his teammates that didn't get the runners in front of him. And that was a big swing we were looking for. And, he got us a couple of them this weekend. You look back on Friday's game and then today.
And then I was going to ask you about the conditions and the field. There's some hops, and I guess you're just happy to get out of there. Really.
Yeah, the wind blew in and across from left. It knocked down 2 home runs last night that would have driven in 3 runs for us. But that's the way it is. Same for them today. It kind of died down there in the 2nd inning. It was the craziest thing. Then we saw the flags going the other way, and then their guy goes opposite field home run. I think it might even hit the top of the fence and bounced over. I'm not sure, but then it picked back up and was blown. We're thinking, what is going on here? Yeah, I thought we played pretty good defense for as cold as it was up here and as windy as it was. It's like a golfer. You'd rather have it, if it's going to be cold, you don't want it to be windy. You'd rather play in cold than windy. Then you put them both together in baseball. It makes it a lot more difficult. How would I know? I don't golf.
Hey, Dave, I wonder what it told you about Brady Tygart for him to have 2 kind of extended outings like in 2 days.
Well, what it tells me is he wants the ball. If he feels good, he wants to pitch. And he came in today in the 8th, and he started out of a stretch. His breaking ball wasn't real sharp. I think what he did. He got a ground ball and a jam shot. And then he gets to go out of the windup. Man, that breaking ball was good in the ninth. And he threw 8 out of 10 pitches. I think 8 of them were breaking balls, and just did a tremendous job. But what it says is he's not scared. We've always felt that way about him. And, some guys have a little bit of that. Oh, I'm good, and they get out there and it doesn't go right. His is not. His is for real. I'm not saying people are phony, but his is for real. He kind of likes it out there whenever the game's on the line.
And when people talk about the hardest places to play in the SEC, they talk about LSU and your place, Mississippi State. Between the weather and the turf, do you feel like Missouri's kind of a sneaky hard place to win?
Well, it depends on what you're used to playing, playing on, and grass or turf. And then you have a lot of times early in the season, it's going to be colder than the other places. It's windy all the time because we're up on a big hill here. It's just then maybe you're used to playing in front of more people, or I don't know, it's just a different feel. But it is a difficult place to play, and Missouri's got a good club. And, I said that about Kentucky last week, and I saw where they scored about 30 runs the last 2 days, and that doesn't surprise me a bit. So the league is sneaky. You can't take anybody lightly in this league.
And then the last one for me, just to win 2 of 3 when you're not playing your best. What does that tell you about this team?
Yeah, we've been talking about that as a team, staff, that our better days are still going to be in front of us. We know that we're going to be playing some really good teams. We're going to have to start swinging the bats better and driving it around. We're going to have to, have a couple more pitchers step up for us out of the bullpen, and they're going to get their opportunity this week against Little Rock. Some guys to pitch with, we can gain some confidence in using them in conference games on the weekend. So, but it says a lot about the team, that they'll fight you, and they've been finding ways to win.
All right, Hutch, close us out.
Dave, you mentioned the Moore's bunt there in the big 7th inning. Obviously you wanted to move the runners, but the fact that they were kind of struggling on their infielders, throwing the ball around a little bit, did you want to put some pressure on them with that?
Yeah. I just thought we should play traditional baseball right there. And I just felt like it was going to give us a better chance to score some runs the way it had been going for us. And he laid down a beautiful sac bunt. And he had the option to bunt it either way, left, down the third baseline, or the first baseline, because the first baseman wasn't really cheap enough. And he decided to go first base. It's easier for a right-hander most of the time. And yeah, they kicked it around, and I wasn't thinking they would boot the ball. I was just thinking I just need to do what you normally do in traditional baseball there and let it happen.
And you gave Diggs the start today. How did you think he did at the plate? And then do you hope maybe that day off will maybe help Slavens get back on track?
I thought Kendall swung the bat pretty good. He just missed a couple of pitches, singled up the middle. I think he's the one who got us going. And I think we scored 2 runs that inning. I think we might have had a leadoff walk or hit, and then he got a base hit up the middle. And those 2 runs came around to score. But, and Brady took really good batting practice today. He had a good attitude. So hopefully this week he can get it going a little bit.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Okay. See you guys.